In today's video, you'll see exactly how I make these electric matches, also known as model rocket engine igniters, using a dipping process. And the best part? The cost of these DIY igniters are only a fraction of the cost of what you would find at a hobby shop. What I show in this video is in accordance with YouTube's guidelines because no explosives are used, and what I'm creating is no more dangerous than a match. With a match, to ignite it, you simply strike it, and this one here, you're going to apply electrical current, and it's going to light the match. As a matter of fact, what I'm about to show you, when used with a 15 or 20 foot length of wire, can allow many people to safely light off fireworks during the holidays, which in turn will prevent countless injuries. To get started, let me show you the items you're going to need. The first thing you're going to need is a box of kitchen matches, very inexpensive. I picked these up at the dollar store. The next item is resistive wire. Right here is 32 gauge, 100 feet, and it's Canthal A1. See it on the spool? You can make at least 200 to 250 igniters with this 100 foot amount. A small cup to mix everything together in. One of these magnesium fire starters, it's a striker. You scrape magnesium off of the block, and then you use the flint on this side to ignite it. These are only around $4 or $5. You buy this once and you never have to buy it again. More than enough magnesium to make hundreds of igniters. The last thing you're going to need is gum arabic powder. Now gum arabic comes from a tree. They take the sap from the tree, it's hardened, and they grind it down and they make it into a powder, just like you see right here. Gum arabic powder is used in foods, it's non-toxic, it's used as a binder, and it's also combustible. We need a way to take the powder from the match head and bind it to the resistive wire. That's where the gum arabic comes in. Now to show you the ideal voltage range for triggering the igniter, I have the power supply connected up. Over here you can see the alligator clips with the negative and positive. And right over here is a section of that resistive wire. I'm going to cut off 1 inch, connect it between the negative and positive, and show you how the wire reacts to different levels of voltage. You're going to see that the ideal range is between 4 volts and 6.5. Here you can see the wire is now in position. I'm going to turn this on. It's set for 4.2 volts, which just so happens to be the voltage of a fully charged 18650 lithium-ion battery, or a 21700 cell like you see right here. Here we go. And you can see it's glowing very nicely. 2.3 amps, 4.2. Let's go a little higher because there's going to be a point where if you apply too much, it's going to burn that wire out very quickly. Okay, we're at 6 volts. Turn it on again. And that's about the limit. You see how soft it's getting? And you can see how fast that wire heated up before it started to curl over. So 6.5 is really the top. You don't want to go higher. And I would not suggest going much lower than 4 volts. Knowing that voltage range, if you did not want to use a lithium-ion cell, you can also use 3 or 4 alkaline batteries in series. Ideally C cells or D cells, but you can also get by with AA. The first step is to take a 6-inch or 15 centimeter section of the Canthal wire and cut it. And then you want to take about 3/4 of an inch of that wire at the end. Just fold it over, like you see right there. Fold it over, and then you're going to fold it back one more time. So you're going to go like this. So it's triple thickness here, single thickness there. You're going to need an area that's not going to get hot or too hot to connect your alligator clips to. Once that's done, you're going to hold this, and you're just going to twist it nice and tight. Keep doing that. When you're finished twisting, it's going to look like what you see right here. The next step is you're going to make the end with a little bit of a loop that's going to be very narrow. That's the spot that's going to be dipped with the match head. And here you can see the loop. Now I'm going to come down straight with the extra wire in my hand and fold it back and forth 3 times like you saw on this side, and then twist it again. When it's complete, it's going to look exactly like what you see right here in my hand. Make several more and place them off to the side. Next, you're going to take 10 matches out of the box, The next step is to remove the material from the match head. Now you could do it two ways. One way, you could just take this on a hard surface and very gently tap with a hard object such as a hammer, and it will all pop off. You do not want to have any wood mixed in with the match head. Or you could do it the way I do, which is much better. I like to use a mortar and pestle, or pestle depending where you're from. And I'm just going to take the matches, place it inside, and just very gently just tap it. And you can see everything just falls right off the match head. You don't have to do them individually. You could place them all in there at once. So let me do all 10 and I'll be right back. Here you can see the powder from the matches has been removed, all inside this bowl. The next thing you want to do is either hammer this down really good in between wax paper. You want to make it into a powder. You don't want any solid pieces in there. Me, I'm going to be using this. Very gently just work it in and grind it till it becomes a powder. Keep in mind, you do not want to use strike anywhere matches, because if you start grinding away like this, it may ignite. So over here, I'm just going to just collect that powder and put it into that small container I showed you. Next, we're going to scrape on the magnesium block. We want to get a bunch of powder. We're going to add a small amount, maybe 1/4 of the amount that you just saw in the red powder. We're going to be adding magnesium. The purpose of adding the magnesium is to increase the temperature of the ignition when the current is applied to the igniter. I chose to use a single edge razor. Just scrape all this together. That's the match head powder, and over here is the magnesium powder. It's a smaller amount. You don't want to put too much. You want to have the majority the match head powder, because if you put too much, it might be difficult for the match head powder to ignite the magnesium powder to give you that high temperature ignition that you want. So around 1/3 of the amount should be fine. Just want to dump it all in there. Right here you can see the magnesium and the match head powder mixed together. The last thing we need to add is the gum arabic. Now the gum arabic, you only have to add a very small amount. Roughly 5% of the weight that's in this cup. So I'm going to place just a very small amount inside here. Once it's dumped in, we're going to mix it all together. This way the gum arabic coats all the particles in here of the magnesium and match head powder. You can see there's just a small amount on this matchstick. And right here you can see all three ingredients mixed together. Now I'm going to put the water. You're only going to add 1 drop at a time until you have the right consistency. You do not want to have this mixture too thin. Take the igniter. Scoop some of that up on there. Doesn't take much. You can actually leave it just like you see right here, that ball. Place it off to the side and allow it to dry for a few hours. And right here you can see the consistency just right. You do not want it too thick. Okay guys, let's try this one out. Right over here, I made it the night before. As you just saw, it worked very well, considering there was just a very small amount on the tip of this igniter. Of course, if you add a little bit more, or even sprinkle some magnesium powder on this area before it dries, you'll have much more intensity. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to rate, thumbs up, and share. Thanks for watching.